At exactly 12:01 a.m., while most of the world was asleep, three names began quietly racing across millions of screens. No sirens. No headlines yet. Just usernames, hashtags, and restless thumbs refreshing a feed that never truly sleeps. Justin Bieber. Jungkook. Taylor Swift. By sunrise, those names had become impossible to escape, glowing from phones like constellations rearranging the sky. This wasn't just another trending moment. It was a signal that something deeper was happening in pop culture, and almost no one noticed it at first. Every year, Twitter, now known as X, becomes a digital diary of the planet's emotions. Joy, anger, nostalgia, heartbreak, obsession. It all pours out in real time. And this year, more than politicians, more than breaking news, more than global events, three artists dominated the conversation. Not because of a single scandal or viral clip, but because millions of people across different countries, languages, and time zones kept saying their names, again and again, for entirely different reasons. Justin Bieber's mentions often arrived quietly, wrapped in memory. A late-night tweet about a song that still hurts in 2025. A grainy clip from an old concert resurfacing with the caption, "He raised a generation." Fans debated his evolution, his silence, his impact. Each mention felt like a check-in, as if the internet itself was asking, "Are you still there?" Bieber's presence on X this year wasn't loud, but it was constant. Like an echo that never fully fades. Then there was Jungkook. His name didn't drift through the timeline. It exploded. Jungkook mentions came in waves. Performance clips, military updates, fan edits, countdowns, theories, translations, emotional letters written to someone who might never read them but somehow always feels close. Jungkook wasn't just trending, he was anchoring entire communities. When his name surged on X, it wasn't casual scrolling. It was devotion, identity, and connection moving at algorithmic speed. And Taylor Swift? Taylor Swift was everywhere at once. Her mentions didn't spike, they expanded. Tour nights turned into global watch parties. Lyrics, carefully paraphrased, never quoted, sparked debates about meaning, memory, and ownership of one's story. Every appearance, every business move, every quiet absence became a conversation. On X, Taylor Swift wasn't just an artist. She was an ongoing narrative, unfolding in chapters written by millions of people simultaneously. At first glance, it seems simple. Three global superstars. Massive fanbases. Of course they'd dominate social media. But here's where the story deepens, and where most people stop looking. If you trace the mentions closely, hour by hour, something unusual appears. These artists weren't trending for the same reasons, or even in the same emotional tone. Justin Bieber's mentions leaned reflective. Jungkook's leaned anticipatory. Taylor Swift's leaned analytical and communal. Different emotions. Different energies. Yet they all converged in the same digital space, at the same scale, during the same year. That convergence is the real story, because Twitter X isn't just measuring popularity. It's measuring presence. Who people think about when they're alone with their thoughts. Who they turn to when they're celebrating, grieving, waiting, or remembering who they used to be. Mentions are not just noise, they're signals of emotional relevance. Midway through the year, analysts noticed something unexpected. During weeks with no releases, no announcements, no public appearances, the mentions didn't drop. In some cases, they increased. That's the twist. In an attention economy driven by constant output, these three artists proved something rare. They don't need to speak to be heard. Justin Bieber trends when someone revisits a moment from their teenage years and realizes how much time has passed. Jungkook trends when fans collectively hold their breath, waiting for what comes next. Taylor Swift trends when people see their own stories mirrored in her journey of control, creativity, and reinvention. These aren't fleeting viral spikes. They're emotional touchstones, and that's why this matters, because what we're witnessing on X isn't just fandom behavior. It's a shift in how modern culture forms around artists. Social media used to amplify moments. Now it sustains relationships. The relationship between artist and audience has become ongoing, ambient, and deeply personal. Every mention is a thread in a much larger tapestry, one that stretches across borders and generations. As the year moved on, something else became clear. These conversations weren't slowing down. They were evolving. Fans weren't just reacting, they were narrating. They were archiving memories, building theories, defending legacies, and teaching newcomers why these names matter. In doing so, they turned Twitter X into a living museum of pop culture history, updated every second. And here's the quiet truth beneath all the data: people don't mention artists this much unless they mean something to them. Not just as entertainers, but as markers of time, of growth, of identity. So when you scroll past a tweet about Justin Bieber at 2 a.m., or see Jungkook's name trending for no obvious reason, or notice Taylor Swift dominating your timeline yet again, understand this: you're not just seeing popularity. You're witnessing connection. Millions of individual stories briefly aligning in one digital space, and that raises a powerful question. In a world overflowing with content, who do we keep coming back to when the noise fades? If this story made you see social media, music, or fandom in a new way, stay with us. Follow, like, and share this video, because we're just getting started uncovering the hidden patterns behind the trends you scroll past every day.